I got that animal, ambition. I got that animal, ambition. I got that.
Hey y'all, Smoak here, what's good? So last night I was at work. I'm just scrolling down on YouTube, and then I see a video by Kicking It with Rose, and there was a caption that says, "This is not wrestling." And I take a look, I only watched for like the first 3 minutes of this video, and it shows the stuff that they're willing to do on the independent scenes of pro wrestling for whatever reason, likely for attention, because it's sports entertainment. So they do, well, every time I see it online, it looks like they do more running gags and stuff like that in the independent scene than the actual in-ring work of wrestling. Simply because what I think, because there's like too much comp out there in the pro wrestling world trying to make it big, whether it is Ring of Honor, NWA, them major but small wrestling organization, and hopefully propel into the big time like AEW or WWE. One time I was watching a video, it was Gigi Dolan of NXT. She was doing independent at the time, and she used a tampon that she pulled out of her shorts as a weapon to her opponent. I was like, the hell? It was insane, bro. So this is a similar situation in this video, a gag of sorts, and believe me when I do say gag. So that take a look at this.
What's good, y'all? Shubo Ross back at it again with another video. We gotta talk, man. We have to have a discussion, y'all. Sometimes these independent wrestling companies, they just be doing some of the wildest stuff and they call it wrestling. And I'm gonna be honest with you, some of the stuff,
when ECW came into the fray in the realm of WWE, when Vince purchased it, like, I don't know, when did he purchase it? 2001 or afterwards? Like, you see these guys cutting promos, whether it's Jerry Lawler or JBL cutting promos to ECW, talking smack about them, like how it's garbage wrestling, you know, in the bingo holes, yada yada. But to me, at least to me, when they take that shot, it seems like they're talking shots to independent wrestling, because it's some garbage ass nonsense, bro. But let's see what Kicking It with Raw's got to say about this. About this situation that unfolded recently. I think it's recently. I'm not sure, but
they call it wrestling. And I'm gonna be honest with you, some of the stuff that they be doing on these independent shows, I just can't consider it wrestling. I just consider it just random stuff to get some shock value out of.
yeah,
and I
see,
get sent these clips, or these clips happen to pop up in my
basically what I
my
said.
recommended feed or my timeline, whether it's on Twitter, whether it's on Instagram. A lot of times I'm not even searching for these type of wrestling clips, but they happen to get sent my way. And we got to talk about a particular one that I recently posted. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you already know what I'm talking about. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I had a very interesting back and forth with someone in the comment section of this said video, because I don't know, man. I just feel like people do random stuff in a wrestling ring and then we just supposed to call it wrestling when really it's not. It's not even wrestling anymore, in my opinion. But y'all will see if you're not sure what I'm talking about. Let me pull this up for you guys, because this is just wild. Follow me on Instagram if you haven't already, man. This is the clip in question. I'm gonna play it for you guys so you can see exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh my gosh.
She's drilling the dildo in his mouth!
If you want to live out your sexual fantasies, go ahead and do that. But just keep it away from wrestling. This is not wrestling. This is just you coming out the closet, letting everybody know you like a dildo shoved in your mouth while it's rotating.
Like, he ain't shoved it, he drilled it. I'm like, what? And he's got a point, bro. I mean, come on. We don't gotta know all that, bro.
As you can see, for whatever reason,
bro.
this particular spot in the match
Uh,
required a guy to open up his mouth and proceed to swallow a dildo while it's attached to a drill. That's very interesting, man. Very interesting. And this is being called wrestling right here. This what we're seeing right here. This is what we call wrestling, right? All right, cool. I gotta find the comments because I had a back and forth with someone because they was really trying to defend this, and
I don't know how you could defend that.
This
bro.
is very hard to defend. Shout out to everyone that commented on here because the comments on here were definitely, as you can see, pretty hilarious. But there was one individual that was standing his ground on this particular subject, trying to rationalize this. Okay,
Like
this is the guy, I
WWE,
believe.
even
I had a
even
back and forth with
AEW
him.
can't
We're gonna
take
go through
this.
man.
Like,
We're
come
gonna
on, bro.
because I'm here to prove a point here. So this is from NOI_elite. Sometimes they don't even have a choice in what happens in the ring. This was an L video. I responded, nah, he had a choice. He chose to gobble on a dildo. He responds back, as you see, my guy, you haven't worked for a wrestling promotion. If they tell you to do something, if you're serious about climbing the ranks, 9 out of 10, you're going to do it. That's why there's so many embarrassing moments for people in WWE. First and foremost, we're not even talking about WWE. We're just talking about an independent company.
I understand what the dude is saying. I don't know he wrestled for a wrestling promotion, but he probably did based on his comments. You do gotta do stuff by any means, but I mean, like, on God though, this doesn't make any sense. Cause like WWE is gonna take that, and what the dude said, embarrassing moments. What he said, embarrassing moments for people in the WWE. I think about Gigi Dolan with the tampon. I guess so. But this is extreme. And for the independent wrestler promoters, why are you approving this? That doesn't even make any sense. This is not cool.
We're just talking about an independent company. At the end of the day, if this is what they want to do in said match, you don't have to do it. If the company's known for doing wild stuff like this, you don't have to do it. There's other independent wrestling companies that don't do this type of stuff. Like I said at the beginning of the video, some of these companies do some of the wildest stuff to get notoriety.
And again, it's difficult, to go from one independent scene to another. You have to travel deep, get your van ready and all that other stuff. It sounds like a very annoying process, bro.
To get some type of viral moment, but it has nothing to do with wrestling. They just happen to do it in a wrestling ring. You can basically say some of this stuff is like jackass comedy at this point. So with that comment, he doesn't have to. I think that's a bit of a stretch. I respond, you have a choice to work for a certain promotion, right? So if this guy chose to work for this company and they known for doing unnecessary spots like this, then it's a choice. So my point still stands. Then someone else comes in, JD, bro, that $50 wasn't worth it.
Man.
You act like that was some known promotion and a wrestler that's just some guy on a Saturday show in some bar. He wanted to do that. He responds, you still have to pay your dues on the indies. That's how pro wrestling works. No one's denying that, but paying your dues by gobbling down a dildo, I don't think that's one of the dues you have to pay. It's not something mandatory when you work for some of these wrestling companies. Yes, you have to pay your dues, but you don't have to do this. I don't think Stone Cold or The Rock or The Undertaker or any of the greats had to do this. I'm sure they had to do a lot of things they didn't want, but it was never this. He responds, actually, with that air, they had to do super humiliating stuff.
Stop before he goes any deeper. They did do some wild stuff in WWE, but never to this extreme. But let's continue.
What are you talking about? Some of the people you name don't count. The Rock had to pay his dues, but also had his family behind him, and he didn't get embarrassed like that. The Undertaker got his in the form of bullying from veterans, but not even. To be honest, he was one of the few people they once they started to get their foot in the door, it didn't take 5-10 years of figuring out a gimmick to work. Most of your examples aren't good. You have to make a name for yourself on the independent circuit. Yeah, you're right. It's different than WWE, but that's the same thing. But the same thing exists in the
Yeah, but
indies.
not a
Once
dildo,
again,
my
I
guy.
get
Not a dildo.
his point. He's saying you have to
Yeah.
go through, the trials and tribulations as a new guy. And I know for a fact, we've heard, stories of wrestlers back in the day have to do like wild stuff, embarrassing stuff for people that are, veterans. But once again, it wasn't in the middle of the ring in
Yeah.
front of fans gobbling on a dildo. That's the
Was a
point I'm
drill.
trying to get him to understand,
Yeah.
or I think he's missing. Yes, you have to go through those periods of, doing things for people that have been there, things you may not want to do. Sometimes they can be humiliating, but not to this extent. So you're telling me that to make your name in the indies, you have to pay your dues by sucking on a dildo? Or can it just be a pointless spot to cause temporary buzz online? Nobody's going to remember the guy who had a dildo shoved in his mouth years from now because someone else will do something crazier to get a little bit of fame. Then other people started chiming in, this is the ladder you don't have to climb. Stop it. And I respond to him, that's what I'm saying. He's making it seem like he was forced at gunpoint to do this sus ass spot. Money isn't involved, LOL. You mean to tell me those dudes willingly kiss Vince's ass? And he tried to move the goalpost here. Even those segments, I've always looked at those kind of cringe. I was like,
Yeah.
I never really liked that. But at the same
Bro,
time,
we
knew
it was so unnecessary for Vince to pull his pants down on national TV and force somebody else's lip to be on his rear end. Bro, near his a-hole. Like, come on. Like, that was some trash, bro. It was trash and there's no respect. Bro, you cannot just put that on TV and call it good television. It was garbage. They don't do it anymore because it's garbage. Yeah, because of FTC regulation, but it's straight up garbage.
why he was doing those segments. Vince is he's a he can definitely be an egomaniac, and he did those to certain individuals that he knew he could kind of get away with doing that with. But even then, he was getting ridiculed for it. I mean, he's just the owner of the company, so he can get away with stuff like that. But he wasn't doing that to The Rock. He wasn't doing that to Stone Cold. He wasn't doing that to the major guys that are trying to get over. He did that to people that were already established. You know what I'm saying? To further pointless storylines. I've always
Pointless
thought the Kiss My
storyline.
Ass Club was just really unnecessary. That was Vince just being Vince.
Bro,
And
Jim Ross,
I
bro,
always
come
felt
on,
like it
man.
was unnecessary. But
come
once
on.
again, that's not shoving a dildo down someone's throat. So someone else responded, some weird indies equal events. Stop it. So he tries to pull the, I've worked at a promotion card. He said, bro, I've trained and wrestled in a promotion. It's clear you haven't. That still doesn't change the point that old dude didn't have to do that dildo spot.
Yeah.
All you said was you worked at a promotion. I guess you paid your dues, but I mean, you still haven't really proved your point any better other than, yeah, I worked at a wrestling company. Okay, kudos to you, my boy, but this is not paying your dues. This is someone wanting to do this spot because they know it's going to have people like, yo, what the hell's going on here? And someone responded, they can choose payment, though, a can of Coke or a hot dog.
Damn.
Oh, man, this interaction was hilarious. I wanted to show this to y'all, man, because honestly, man, stuff like this, when I get sent, like when people show me these clips, I make fun of them. Obviously, I post them on my stories or post on my Instagram. I make fun of it, make light of it, but it's not wrestling. Let's stop calling this wrestling. People are defending this foolishness. People try to make the point, anything that happens in that square circle, you can consider it wrestling. No, bro. I'm sorry. getting a dildo shoved down your throat, down your gullet, does not constitute as wrestling. I'm sorry. No matter how much you want it to, it's not. It's shock value at its finest. That's the only problem about independent wrestling that I've seen a lot of lately is people are gonna do the wildest, craziest, most dangerous things because they want to get notarized. And once again, people are not gonna remember that next week or a month from now or 2 months from now. Like, people are not gonna remember this guy getting a dildo shoved in his throat unless it just happened to randomly pop up on their feed. It's not gonna be a topic of discussion in the wrestling world. It's not gonna be something potentially that WWE is like, oh yeah, we got to get this guy up here. They see this clip, oh, we got to get him up here. Now I don't know about AEW, but I don't even think AEW would stoop this low.
Nah. Hell no.
Type of
come on, bro.
Entertainment. I don't know. maybe he would get signed to AEW, but I don't know if this would be the clip that gets Tony Khan to want to bring him into his company either. Because at the end of the day,
well, I mean, Tony Khan could look at it and say, he got dedication. Let's sign him. But I mean, nah. I don't know, bro. You got to see more than this clip.
This is just it doesn't fit the theme of wrestling. If anything, it kind of gives wrestling that stigma of like, what is this? Like, if I was to show this to one of my homies, be like, yeah, I'm into wrestling or whatever, and I end up showing them this clip. I don't show them nothing WWE or anything else. They'll be like, yo, what the fuck is this? What is this?
They're gonna think it's porn, bro.
You know what I'm saying? These are the type of clips that give wrestling that weird stigma when people say you're a fan of it. Granted, I don't think you see it as much because of, how things are and the climate we live in now, where people are more accepting of a lot of different forms of media and entertainment. So you may not see it as much, but if they catch you watching a clip like this, they probably will be like, yo, what the fuck's going on? This is what they do in wrestling?
Yeah, they'll beat your ass, bro. Nah, that's a bit extreme. That's a bit extreme. They won't beat your ass, but they'll definitely look at you funny though. Off rip. There's 2 minutes. There's like less than 2 minutes left of this video, but he's probably not gonna say much. He's just gonna continue on this little rant. Yeah, not my cup of tea. I assume the majority. I hope the majority. If you're into things like that, bro, just keep it in the bedroom. Like you shouldn't leak this out to the public. And it's probably a YouTube thing too. I know for a fact they got no TV deal. Sad part is about this clip is that we don't know the promotion's name and we don't know both of the wrestlers' name. So yeah, that makes it even worse in my opinion. That's all I got to say about this wild video. I just felt like putting this out here because I think it was an interesting topic, content I like to share. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Peace. I'm out.